Our special guest on TheInformer is Josh Zuker from Josh Zuker Travel. The head office is in Hampton, but offices right around the country. You've been a $10 million travel business, and with the COVID, you've gone into almost, bankruptcy?
Pretty much, yeah.
Government have, this COVID pandemic, of course, has gone global. Governments around the world chose to protect their citizens in the best way they thought possible. And one of those things, one of the big first steps was to stop the airlines from flying, of course, being the ultimate carriers of contagion. That's what we thought. Now, it's nearly 8 months on. Is there any word that they're going to be lifting any travel restrictions and giving you guys a chance to get back into business? And has government come to the party and said, we're going to try and help you to get back on your feet?
So I think with the airline predominantly, there's two parts. So there's international and domestic. The primary airlines, so into Australia, you've got Qantas, you've got Virgin. Mm-hmm. The bans, that's the hardest part. The government bans from the airlines of not flying into the country, being parked in Northern Territory, being parked in Mojave Desert in California. The restrictions from the likes of Virgin not flying internationally anymore till 2024. Qantas A380s, so no more first class. Qantas A380s are parked in the desert. They're not going to come back till maybe the start of 2022. So the likes of people who have credit notes, it's not a gift card. It's a value, it's a dollar value, and that dollar value has to be used on one transaction. So there's no hope in terms of utilising those credits, so therefore the airlines need to extend the credits, but how long's a piece of string?
You've touched on domestic travel, you've touched on international travel. We've seen, not Qantas, but Virgin change. We've seen the demise of a bundle of different operators and carriers around the country. There's a repositioning as we speak. Has government, whether it's state level or federal level, come to you and started a dialogue?
So there's been government grants within Victoria.
All right. They've been granted?
Yeah, but conditional. So the likes of how your trust account is set up, how your business structure is set up. If you work from home, work from an office, have a bricks and mortar office, have a trust account, trustee. Out of the 3 or 4 grants that Daniel Andrews put out, I only had 2, and one robbed Peter to pay Paul. Basically paid out a tax bill, and then when you look at the likes of the uncertainty, the how long a piece of string model is, the likes with Virgin, you're looking at Bain Capital, which was meant to be settled months ago. It's still going, and then now they've stripped away the people's the corporate market. You know, the frequent flyer, the point structure, the credit notes, the free upgrades. So they've gone to a low cost. Now I understand that.
No frills,
Correct.
Frills or low cost.
Both, no frills,
wow.
but yeah, both no frills and a low cost. But
Wow.
you're looking at the likes of the models that these airlines need to survive. The cruise companies need to survive. The wholesalers have gone under. Many wholesalers have gone under.
Now, you've been a niche and boutique travel company, have
Correct.
you not?
Correct.
You've looked at clientele who want that special experience.
Correct.
And in the Western world, in other places, for you it's imperative to have consistency. Correct. And continuity.
Correct.
And surety. How many of those things are available to you at the moment?
Hardly anything.
Wow.
You're looking at the likes of email replies from random people in offshore call centres who think that they can help us, but they can't. The chat services that are on a website are beyond useless, where we used to have point-to-point contact. Sales reps have lost their jobs. Hundreds of thousands of people have lost their jobs within the industry, not to mention every other industry, but the offices have been closed.
What do you, if we could, direct our attention to the governments, what would you be saying to them? What do you want? You were on the 60 Minutes the other day. No, not 60 Minutes, a current affair. And you had an interview, and I heard some of that. What were the principal things that you were asking of government?
The hardest thing to comprehend, and I've been in the industry 20 years, right? Forget the awards, the accolades, the terrorist attacks, the natural disasters, all of that.
Yep.
Why isn't the government listening to us? You know, we have industry umbrellas pleading and fighting for us. We, across a multitude of channels, are fighting. No one's listening. Everyone's talking, but no one's listening.
Is it a case of you haven't got one voice, one strong voice?
We've got a strong voice,
Yeah.
ATAS, the industry umbrella, but you have to be a member.
Yep.
Now, not everyone's a member. You know, like within the Australian economy, you know, we've had $6 billion nationally that's been refunded. $6 billion. Now, $4 billion is still outstanding. You can't just have a person in offshore call centre doing that, right? You need an industry umbrella, or you need, as you said, the voice. No one's listening. Now, ATAS, with the amount of lobbying, the surveys, the Facebook groups, the emails to Parliament and members, something is being done that, you know, it was meant to come out this week.
Now, I suppose as it drags on, it becomes even harder.
Yeah.
Because you have all those things, fixed business costs that you
Correct.
need to address.
Correct.
How are you coping with that?
JobKeeper to a point, but JobKeeper, I mean, is scraping the surface.
The banks, have they been assistant?
Yes and no, conditional. You know, they're waiting. A lot of things are on hold, so the pauses. But
landlords?
Everyone's different. Mine in particular it's a fight.
Do you think we've reached that stage where we need to hit the button and say to everyone, come on, the cards have changed, the game's changed, we need to hit the reset button, and we all need to look very differently at how once we did the model and how we do it today?
I think so, but
is that helpful? If we could manage to do that, hit the reset button.
I think
and
so.
Say to the landlords,
Yeah.
look, no point, holding this sword above my head. Nothing I can do about it.
The problem that I guess the travel industry faces versus hospitality or
events or whatever. Yep.
You look at it like, here we are, you've come into my office or rung me up on the phone or sent an email, and here we are booking a trip, right?
Yep.
You paid your deposit, right? I'm just going to take you through this process. So you've paid a deposit. Now that deposit's in my trust account for a certain amount of days, and then that goes to pay the supplier or whoever it needs to pay.
Yep.
We don't hold the funds. Now, people think we hold on to the funds. We don't. Now, when you pay me for the airline ticket, we then pay the airline. Now, the airline might have to pay their third party. So to undo 3 or 4 steps is so hard, right? But the thing that people don't understand is actually costing me money to lose more money right now. And
which is why we're not seeing the so-called ability to say, look, pay me what I've paid you.
Correct.
And you're saying to them, look, we can give you a credit note, but we can't give you that money because, as you said, it's not in our hands.
Correct.
That's not easy to understand.
No, it's not.
Not for the customer.
And I understand that.
You want a refund.
If I can refund you, I would.
Yeah.
Me charging you a cancellation fee is not even going to scrape the surface of what I owe.
So what do we do?
I don't know. But what I can tell you is that the world's changed. And from verbal abuse to written abuse to legal threats to letters of demands to people trying to take money out of the bank accounts via their institutes. Who treats people like that? We're a travel agent. You know, we sold travel that opened up
pathways
to the world.
Yeah.
That was able to, you know, if you hadn't gone there, you got to see at first hand of what, oh my God, Josh sent you there, you know, and you got to do that, married, honeymoon, whatever.
Super memories,
Right. But travel's not that anymore. Travel is an industry of the unknown, and with so many third parties outside of our control, we're the meat in the sandwich. We're literally, you know, so if you book a cruise, a flight, accommodation, well, to get you to the accommodation, I've got to get you on the airfare, and then to get you to the cruise. But then if the cruise company says, yeah, we're going to give back the customer a refund, but the airline's only going to give you back a credit, and the hotel has gone under,
you're caught between a rock and a hard place. What happens though when you've got travel campaigns, new glossy campaigns to say go out and travel, and nothing has been set to
people's
give you the opportunity?
People's concerns, which is the new thing out at the moment, the book with confidence. People's concern is, I honestly believe there is no confidence because COVID, masks, quarantine, false promises, hope.
Yeah.
I get all of it, but why should I book a trip for you in 2022 when I may not be here tomorrow?
Wow. Josh Zuker from Josh Zuker Travel, giving you a sense of just how dire and how complicated the travel industry is at the moment. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? They're waiting to hear. It's a daily wait. Governments have promised them a number of grants to come to assistance. After all, it has been a government
It's a $250 million grant. And that's just for agencies, and the industry's sitting at about 1.3 billion to be saved.
We wait to see what transpires. Keep us informed. Let us know what's going on. Josh Zuker joining us on The Informer.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.